am Saksham Umesh Satardekar from Standard 7C of Don Bosco School, Matunga. Today, I am going to make experiment of electrolysis for Science Day in our school. For this experiment, we need a glass of water, a battery, and two pencils sharpened on both the sides, fixed to the lid with two holes, and two wires attached to the graphite with the help of tape. First, we will place this on a glass of water, and now attach the wire to the battery. Electricity breaks the water molecules apart into its part. Hydrogen bubble arises to the one pencil and oxygen bubble arises to another pencil. This process is called electrolysis. This shows that water is made up of two chemical elements, hydrogen and oxygen. Therefore, we call it H2O. Thank you.
Hello, I am Dhairya Madan from 7C. I have made this windmill model.
How does a windmill work? Windmill operates on a simple principle. The energy in the wind turns 2 or 3 propeller-like blades around a rotor, which is connected to the main shaft, which spins the generator and generates electricity. Basically, it converts kinetic energy from the wind into electric energy. I am going to use this as a stand for my windmill. This is the generator for my windmill, which will generate electricity. These are the fans I use for the propellers of my windmill. And this is the light to demonstrate the energy given by the windmill. Here I have connected the motor to a stand of my windmill and then connected it to the propellers. And then I've connected it to the light.
This is the tabletop fan I am going to be using to generate wind, which will be taken by these propellers, which will spin the steel rod of this motor, which will generate electricity, which will be passed on through these clips and the wire, and which will go to the light bulb I've made with an old ball.
Now in complete darkness you can see the light glowing.
I am Prayak Samir Phatak from Don Bosco High School, Standard 7. My topic name is Solar Operated Conduction Dryer. Materials required for making solar operated conduction dryer is metal box, metal wire mesh tray, metal tray, thick transparent plastic, black paint, and fruits and vegetables. Let's see how it operates. Prepare one metal box as per the size, which have 2 horizontal slots. Insert the metal wire mesh tray in the first slot and insert the metal tray in the second slot. Fix the plastic top cover, which is removable. Then take fruits and vegetables, cut them into slices. Then keep them on the metal wire mesh tray for 6 to 8 hours. After keeping them for 6 to 8 hours, shift them on the metal tray for 6 to 8 hours. After that, take out the fruits and vegetables from metal tray and keep them for storage. As we observe, we use only solar heat for this process. No any electrical power is used. As we know, black color absorbs heat, so that's why our solar operated conduction dryer is more efficient. We use transparent plastic to cover the solar operated conduction dryer because we avoid direct sunlight ultraviolet rays. After drying fruits and vegetables, water evaporates only, and vitamins and nutrients do not get evaporated with water. After drying, we can use dry fruits and dry vegetables for next 6 months. Selling dry fruits and dry vegetables is very helpful for farmers. We start drying process from November to May, 6 to 7 months. In rainy period, we cannot use this. Conclusion. In minimum cost, we can preserve dry fruits and dry vegetables without any chemical process.
Hello everyone, my name is Ayan Khan. I am from class 7D at Don Bosco High School, Matunga. Today I am going to perform an experiment. The aim of my experiment is to prove the existence of microorganisms in dirty water. Apparatus needed for this experiment is a sheet of paper or anything that can act as a screen, 2 glasses or cups, a syringe filled with turbid water at which the end has a drop of turbid water, and we need a laser pointer so that we can point the light. And for this experiment we need to switch off all the lights of our room so that we can see the thing clearly. We have to arrange the cups and the syringe in such a way that the syringe faces downwards so that the droplet can be balanced easily, and then using a laser pointer we need to point the beam of laser to the droplet, and then the projections will come on the screen. So let's observe what happens next. So as you can see, once we use the laser pointer to point out, you can see the microbes inside this droplet of water, and these are some bacteria, fungi and protozoas. So what is our conclusion? Our conclusion is that when these light rays go from one medium to another, that is from air to water, the rays get refracted and in such a way that it magnifies the shadows of the microorganisms and it gets projected on the screen. Thus we can say that microorganisms exist everywhere in turbid water and elsewhere, everywhere you can see. Thank you.